What do you do if you're security crying behind the car? Damn.
Because Mase want to laugh and lie about the situation, let's get into it, bro. I want to get into this.
I just want to go home. I just want to be home.
A single, mocking laugh can travel farther than a speeding bullet. When Mase and Cam'ron explode into giggles on their sports talk podcast, they aren't just clowning Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal. They're yanking a live wire that still crackles with the night the Notorious B.I.G fell on Fairfax Avenue. Viewers freeze the moment, lipstick it into memes, replay it in slow-mo, and ask the same spine-tingling question they asked on March 9th, 1997. Why didn't Biggie's security shoot back? Gene hears their laughter, and his answer lights a fuse that's been smoldering for 28 years. But the joke was only the spark. Here's the gasoline that was already pooling around hip-hop's biggest unsolved crime.
I just want my blanket. I just want your blanket. We gotta get out of here. I didn't sing too much. Just can't tell me nothing. That's why when they be talking tough, I said, man, just say it. I didn't sing all that. Nigga said he wanna just go home.
Oh,
and be in his blanket. You're like, what?
But he there for security.
You're never gonna be in this position.
I just want to go home and
I just want to be under my blanket. Oh, we gotta get out of here. God, you get me out of here. I'm never fooling with these things.
Los Angeles, late winter 1997. Puffy has turned the Peterson Automotive Museum into a velvet rope carnival of champagne flutes, Versace shades, and East Coast swagger. The industry's who's who step over red carpet glare, while Biggie, 300 pounds of rhyming royalty, cracks jokes in a green GMC Suburban idling behind Puff's dark Chevy. Gene Deal, 31, ex-military, sits shotgun up front with Puffy. Trouble, Gene believes, has already been warded off. He spent days sweeping hotel floors, tracking threats, and reminding West Coast rivals that bad boy is just here to network. But it takes exactly 11 seconds for that sense of control to vanish. At 12:47 a.m., a black Chevy Impala eases beside Biggie's truck on Fairfax. A Glock pops from the driver's window. 4 muffled thuds split the cool air. Glass spatters like rock salt. Big slumps. His last words are half-finished. Behind him, screams ricochet inside the SUV cabin. Ahead, Gene's driver Kenny floors the gas, instinctively trying to outrun gunfire already spent. Gene, twisted sideways because Puffy likes to recline his seat, wrestles upright and reaches for his pistol. But the Impala has already melted into traffic. The LAPD motor escort hesitates. Sirens flare too late. In the rear view, Biggie's Suburban coasts to a crawl, hazard lights strobing over the blood pooling on his Coogie sweater. Later, detectives count 4 copper jackets pulled from Big's torso. Critics will count something else, for security men, none of whom fired. Nearly 3 decades later, a barbershop-style podcast will flip those seconds into a punchline heard around the world. Cut to June 2025. It Is What It Is, the sports comedy show where Harlem legends Cam'ron and Mase trade jabs like sports desk Stephen A. and Shaq had a baby. Topic of the day, old NBA beefs, until Cam slides in a wild detour. Yo, remember Gene Deal crying? I just want to go home. Man, I need my blanket.
I just want to go home. I just want to be home.
Mase collapses into giggles, pulling an invisible quilt over his head. Cam pounds the desk. The studio's crew howls. The clip hits TikTok's For You pages before the episode finishes airing. Some viewers laugh along. Others call it sacrilege. Reddit threads reignite dormant conspiracy subreddits. Twitter, now X, arranges real-time polls. Who's lying about Big's murder, security, or rappers? Overnight, the snippet collects 15 million loops and stirs every shade of hip-hop nostalgia, anger, and clickbait punditry. One of those angry viewers is the man being mocked, and he's about to grab his phone, press record, and unload 28 years of bottled resentment. A dimly lit living room, smartphone propped on a bookshelf. Gene Deal leans forward, jaw tight. No flashy intro, no sponsor read. Cam, Mase, y'all want views?
Fine.
Say my name like a man, and say the whole story.
Say if you gonna say something, be man of motherfucking nothing. The name is the name. When I tell a motherfucking story, Red, I tell it with the names. These niggas ain't worried about none of this, dog. Because it can happen to anybody. If they can get motherfucking Martin Luther King, if they can get the President Kennedy, they can get to anybody. It's easy to tell a motherfucker the truth than to call me a lie.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral out here.
Yeah.
For 30 raw minutes, he spits receipts. One Mase's omitted warning. According to Gene, hours before the shooting, Mase and Stevie J attended a celebrity basketball game where South Central gang members made it crystal they wanted Puffy and Biggie that night. Mase never warned Biggie, Gene claims, though he did whisper it to Puff. To the hotel hideout, Gene alleges Mase and a young woman locked themselves in a Beverly Hilton suite after news of Big's shooting broke, begging LAPD to escort them to the airport at sunrise. 3 The blanket quip. Gene is furious that Mase turned his own traumatized plea, "I just want to go home," into a comedy bit. Laugh at trauma all you want, he growls, but Manhattan bravado means nothing when bullets fly. Within an hour, the video's view count ticks past 2 million. Hashtags hashtag Team Gene and hashtag Team Mase sprout like twins. Think pieces question whether black trauma is fair game for jokes. Podcasters schedule emergency reaction streams. Pressed into a corner, Mase reaches for a story so startling that even loyal fans raise eyebrows. Pressed into a corner, Mase reaches for a story so startling that even loyal fans raise eyebrows. Mase goes live on Instagram, neon ring light reflecting in designer sunglasses. "Look, I wasn't hiding," he insists. "There were 70 Bloods outside my hotel room hunting bad boy artists." He details a chaotic hallway standoff. Red bandanas, shouted threats, pounding fists against his door. An off-duty LAPD officer and, ironically, Gene Deal supposedly slip him through a service elevator and rush him out a back entrance. Skeptics pounce on the arithmetic. 70 men, 1 hallway? Which hotel? Where's the security log? Fans spin it into memes. 50 Bloods, 69 Bloods, 70 Bloods, haha, keep hitting. But the narrative also resonates with those who remember the wildfire of East versus West tension after Tupac's September 96 slaying. Trauma or tall tale? Maybe both. Gene counters with a single-line tweet. "Funny how troops form only in hindsight." Likes 140K in 6 hours. Gene then reveals a detail neither police report nor Hollywood scriptwriter has emphasized.
Prior to the Peterson Museum, Mase and Stevie J went to a celebrity basketball game. They let the dudes, I don't know if it was the dudes from the Dog Pound, it was the dudes that was Crips, they let Stevie J and Mase know, "We want Puff and we want Big." Mase felt like he was safe, laying down there, throwing up West Coast signs with them. Mase came back from that game. He let me know and he let Puff know. He never mentioned a damn thing to Big. As his label mate, as a fellow New Yorker, he had an obligation to tell Big, and he know I came and got him. And Mase said, "Yo, Big G, why you here? Why you here?" He said, "Big G, I'm all right. I said, "If you was all right, why am I here?"
I was actually in a hotel with a young lady.
And when you heard this information, what was your next actions?
My next actions? After what?
When you heard Biggie died, did you stay in your hotel room? Did you leave out? Did you want to go back to New York?
I actually was trapped in a hotel.
Now I want to ask the question. What do you mean trapped?
It was about probably like 70 or so Bloods in the hallway. I couldn't even leave my room.
How'd you get out?
One of the guys.
Why would it be 70 Bloods in your hallway after Biggie Smalls died?
Actually, after Big got killed, they was probably looking for more bad boy artists. And I couldn't even leave the room till Gene Deal, the officer had to come get me.
One flashy joyride that may have spray-painted the ultimate bullseye on Biggie's back. Picture mid-afternoon sun bouncing off a cherry red Benz convertible outside UCLA's Pauley Pavilion. Stevie J drives, Mase riding shotgun, West Coast hand signs flashing like souvenirs they barely understand. Gene says he warned them earlier. Cool it. This isn't Times Square. They laugh it off, music blasting, camera phones flashing. Onlookers recognize the plates, text homeboys. Word spreads from Crenshaw to Compton faster than an FM radio signal. Bad boy stuntin' in our yard. For sets still raw over Tupac's murder and territorial disrespect, that reckless cruise isn't just rude, it's an engraved invitation. Gene explains gang politics in blunt imagery. Imagine playing laser tag in the lion's den while wearing a raw steak jumpsuit. To him, the drive wasn't a cameo, it was the first domino. When Bullets found Biggie, he argues, they were looking for any bad boy face big enough to satisfy vengeance. Was that oversimplified? Maybe, but it resonates with an audience that's seen ego escalate beefs from wax to weapon countless times. Still, the internet wants the simplest scoreboard stat. Why did Gene, the trained professional, never squeeze his trigger? That question fuels the longest, loudest debate of the saga.
If you want to say something, Mase, tell us why you didn't go. Mase, why you didn't go to the party? Mase, why you didn't go to the party?
Because I was in a hotel with Brandy.
Why you didn't go? Brandy told you, you told me that Brandy told you, let's go to the party. Why you didn't go to the party?
I didn't go to the party because all y'all seem like snakes. And I'm not going to...
So Mase, who told you? Mase, didn't I tell you? Listen to him, Mase. Did I tell? Let's keep it 100. When you was riding around,
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. You guys was the security. If somebody shot the biggest rapper in the world, why y'all didn't shoot back? Y'all had time?
Mase, let me ask you something. I'm gonna get to that. Mase, one question. When you was riding around Cali with Stevie J, didn't I pull you to the side and say, what the f is you doing in a drop top Benz riding around with Stevie J around Cali? Did I say that to you? Did I say that to you, Mase? That's some
For skeptics, the math is damning. Trained guard plus loaded Glock plus murdered client equals failure. Gene opens his notebook of logistics like a defensive coordinator analyzing a final play. Angle. Puff's seat was reclined so far that Gene had to twist sideways. His door couldn't open fully without slamming Puff's seat back upright. Distance. Their SUV had cleared the intersection by the first shot. Gene's line of sight faced forward while the shooter sat rear left of Biggie's Suburban. Civilians. Fairfax was bumper to bumper. Random gunfire risked hitting tourists and families leaving the museum. Escort gap. LAPD units were 2 car lengths back, leaving a blind pocket the Impala exploited. Stall. The Suburban with Biggie stalled after the 4th shot, clogging the lane. Gene's driver punched forward to avoid rear-end collision. Reversing to engage would have boxed them between traffic and incoming police. He closes the breakdown with an admission that hits like a bruise. Maybe I believed my presence alone could stop trouble. That's ego, and it cost a legend his life. Few lines silence chat trolls like that. Moments later, Mase posts a TikTok montage of cowboy movies, sarcastically captioned, I guess Gene was reloading. The petty war has gone nuclear, but fans notice Gene's shell-shock sincerity. Maybe they whisper, he's telling the brutal truth. Just when fatigue sets in, rumors surface that 2025 may finally cough up a missing puzzle piece, thanks to a completely different legal storm raining on Diddy. In January, multiple civil suits dragged Diddy back into court. Subpoena requests pry open LAPD boxes sealed for ongoing investigation. Reporters sniff a lead. Among them is dashcam footage from an escort bike trailing Puff's SUV. Insiders claim the video shows the Impala's license plate frame, once too blurry, clear enough to read. Suddenly, fan forums map out decades-old DMV records. A former detective teases indisputable proof on a paywalled Patreon. Cam'ron advertises an upcoming podcast with a surprise witness, while Mase posts a sepia photo of Biggie captioned, "Truth floats like oil, it always rises."
Gene?
He tweets a stopwatch emoji and nothing else. The timeline erupts. People start setting Google alerts for Fairfax plate. True crime TikTokers schedule live countdowns. Lawyers remind everyone that new evidence could upend double jeopardy protections. Biggie's mother, Ms. Voletta Wallace, issues a brief statement. "All I've ever wanted was the real story. If it comes now, so be it." The stage lights flare for Act 3 of a saga nobody asked for, but nobody can look away from. And if even half the whispers prove legit, the hip-hop map we grew up with may need redrawing overnight. 3 decades, countless documentaries, 2 biopics, and oceans of speculation. Yet a 30-second podcast joke dragsawed every scar open again. Gene and Mase throw verbal haymakers. Cam stirs the pot. The internet keeps score. Meanwhile, Christopher Wallace, the man beneath the crown, remains forever 24, his baritone echoing from car stereos and dorm room playlists. So here we are. Did West Coast Payback pull the trigger? Or did silence inside Big's own camp pave the killer's escape? Drop your theory below. Smash that like if you think new evidence will finally surface, and hit subscribe, because if Gene's ticking clock means what fans think it means, Part 2 could rewrite everything we thought we knew about the night hip-hop lost its king. Stay tuned. Truth has no expiration date.